Ever wondered what would happen if your entire town just decided to run its economy on the blockchain? It sounds like something straight out of sci-fi, right? Well, believe it or not, it's actually happening. Today, we're going to explore the rise of these so-called crypto villages. Just take a second and really picture that. No banks, no cash, no credit cards. Everything you buy, everything you sell, it's all just happening on a network through a digital wallet on your phone. And this isn't just some abstract idea. It's a reality for people in some parts of the world. Okay, so what exactly are we talking about here? What is a crypto village? Let's dive right into how these experimental communities are trying to build a whole new kind of society, literally from the digital ground up. At its heart, a crypto village is an experimental community, and I love that term on the slide, a social laboratory. That's exactly what it is. It's a real-world test to see if an entire local economy can run on a blockchain system without the traditional financial plumbing we're all used to. So that's the big picture. But what does this actually look like day to day? How does paying for groceries or earning a living really work when it's all happening on a distributed ledger? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. The whole economic flow is, well, surprisingly straightforward. It pretty much boils down to three things. First, you earn local digital tokens for whatever work you do. Then, you use those tokens to pay people and businesses directly. No middleman. And the cool part? Smart contracts can automate all the boring stuff, like paying community fees or taxes. And this is where it gets really interesting, because you see just how deep the integration goes. It's not just paying for your coffee. You might earn a unique gardening token from your neighbor, or maybe the local bakery has its own coin that you can use at the cafe next door. The whole economy becomes this incredibly visible, interconnected web, all on the blockchain. Now, this all sounds incredibly ambitious. I mean, it's a ton of work, right? So it really begs the question, why? Why go through all this trouble to basically reinvent local economics from scratch? Well, it turns out the motivations are kind of twofold. On one side, you've got the big, bold ideology. It's this deep desire to be less dependent on central banks, to escape national currencies that might be super fragile. But then there's a really practical side to it too. These projects can be an amazing way to attract a new wave of remote workers and to seriously kickstart investment and tourism for a region. And here's a really cool way to think about it. This isn't a totally new idea. It's really just a modern spin on the old company town. But instead of a big factory being the engine for the whole community, the engine is a decentralized blockchain. Okay, but let's be real. It's not a perfect digital utopia, not by a long shot. When you build a society on lines of code, you run into a whole new class of problems. Really tough, real-world challenges that these communities are wrestling with every single day. I mean, let's start with the most obvious one. Your entire economy depends on a connection. So what happens when a storm knocks out the internet? Does everything just stop? Does the economy just grind to a halt? Or what about human error? Code is written by people, and people make mistakes. So what happens if a bug in a smart contract accidentally freezes the entire town's funds? In a supposedly decentralized system with no boss, who gets to fix it? And then, of course, there's the elephant in the room, volatility. I mean, how do you buy milk when the value of your money dropped 20% overnight? If your life savings and your ability to buy groceries are tied to a crypto token, those wild price swings become a massive, massive problem. So with all these huge challenges, you'd think this idea might be dead in the water, right? Well, not exactly. Despite the hurdles, this isn't just a few random experiments. We're talking about a growing global movement. These social labs are popping up all over the world. We're seeing them in Latin America, where people are desperate for economic stability. We're seeing them in Southeast Asia and in different pockets of Europe. It's a model that people are actively testing and tweaking all across the globe. And that's really the key takeaway, isn't it? This is the point where blockchain stops being just a financial buzzword and starts being tested as an actual backbone for a real, living, breathing community. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. I think this really captures the whole spirit of the movement. It's this slow, patient process. You're building something brick by brick in the real world and token by token in the digital world, all at the same time. So it all comes down to this one massive question. We know a blockchain can handle transactions, for sure, but can it really support the full weight of an entire community? with all its human complexity, all its messiness, all its needs? Well, that's the billion-dollar question these experiments are trying to answer right now.